welcome to the Vibe Too Many Entertainment Podcast, or whatever the hell we end up calling this. As always, I'm Robin Campbell.
I'm KJ Colello, and I really hope that name stays the same because I put everything I work on with Vibe Too Many.
Nice. Wait, what do you mean?
The slideshow that I have says Vibe Too Many. I have a bunch of bios for like my letterbox and stuff. I'll say Vibe Too Many. Robin, what are we doing here today?
Yeah, well, today we're going to be having a little bit of an award show to celebrate some of the great movies of 2025 and some of the not so great movies of 2025.
And some movies you haven't thought about since they came out.
That as well, yeah. I mean, honestly, when you sent me the list to like go over all the movies that came out this year, I really realized that I haven't watched that many, which was kind of sad.
I had on my letterbox, which I'll plug right now. I have like a running list of all of the movies I see in a year.
Smart.
And I think so far I'm at like 17 that came out this year. And there are going to be people who are like, oh, that's not... Motherfucker, I work a full-time job.
You know, as a film bro that has plenty of time on his hands, you'd think I'd watch more movies, or at least keep track of the movie, or at least even look at Letterboxd, but I never have.
Robin, how was your 2025?
You know, it was all right. I mean, I graduated school, which was nice. I moved into a new apartment, which is cool. You know, a lot of big changes. Production companies going fast and strong, which is exciting. Starting up some finishing old projects, starting up new projects, you know, getting to it with this podcast, you know, very exciting stuff on the horizon for us.
Do we have any big releases from a Vibe Too Many this year?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure we could get into that a little bit more, maybe later. But hey.
Yeah, we 2025 was the year of like, I keep calling it our first Vibe Too Many release, and it's nowhere near that.
I mean, like, it feels like our first official one, because, you know, I mean, as I just said, I just got out of film school, so everything pre that was, like, all of us still, like, learning and experimenting and making things, and I'd say, like, that this project that we'll talk a little bit more about, I guess, maybe a little bit later, was, like, I feel like the first, like, we had a real team behind it, we had a lot of planning going into it, we executed it to, I believe, as well as we could have, versus, you know, like, most film projects out of film school and even pre that is, like, you, me, and a camera, and we're figuring shit out, and that's all we can do.
Which was the short we made right before this last one was basically just you and either me or someone else. I don't want to, like, you know, dox them. With a camera and just being like, how the fuck do we do this?
Literally standing outside from 12 a.m. to like 6 a.m.
And like
the same
40
day that
degree
you had
weather.
Work in 30 degree weather to film 1 5-second scene.
I had to go to work.
But the camera kept dying.
Was that released in 2025? Was the waiting room 2025 or was that 2024?
I think it was 2024.
We did the scene that I'm in. Don't like watch it expecting dialogue from me. We wound up doing like a month or two later.
Did we really?
Yeah, because or maybe it was only like a week, but I remember you didn't put it in.
No, I think it was the same weekend. I think because I could only get the equipment for that one weekend, and then I had to give it all back, and I tried to renew it.
Yeah, and that's why you're right.
There was literally one thing that I couldn't renew, so they wouldn't let me renew the whole order.
It was the clacker.
I specifically wanted to try out, since, you know, I'm still in school and I had access to these things. They had a time code slate that I wanted to try and use because I'd never used it before. I wanted to see how it worked. But then the days of the shooting, of course, everything is going crazy. We're trying to move along. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to try and figure out how to use a whole new piece of technology today. We're just going to use it as a slate.
On the fly, yeah.
And then I'll just learn how to use it when I get a chance. And then that was the one thing that we didn't even need and we didn't even really use, was the one thing that didn't allow me to do the renewal. So I think the first day, you know, was a regular shoot. The second day was a regular shoot. And I think the third day, I didn't have anything to film. And that's when I was like, hey, dude, we still need to get this real quick scene in.
One pickup.
And I have no one else to help. You want to come over the night before I have to return all this shit and film it real quick?
And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm working late. But, like, if it works for you, I'm cool.
As long as we keep it quick.
Like, yeah.
5 hours
and
later.
so like I wound up, it was like longer than that, because I got home like at midnight, and Robin literally picked me up from my train station, and we went to their house. It's midnight. We're like, oh, this is literally, it's like 2 camera shots. No, it was like 3-ish.
It was like
and
a
it's like
regular like shot reverse shot, and then a bunch of inserts. But all the inserts were like seconds long.
Yeah, if
that. And yet still,
the entire scene is like 20 seconds.
Probably, yeah.
And I might be being generous there. And we got set up probably around 1 a.m., which is fine. You know, we wanted the darkness for the scene and everything.
Took place at night. Perfect time.
Robin walks me through it. I have to do so. And it's literally me and Robin on set. That's on set. A light pole outside their house.
Literally.
And Robin's like, yeah, we need to do this, and the other thing. I'm like, cool. I got home at like 6 a.m.
For a 20-second scene. That might be like the best scene, honestly.
That also, I remember you telling me this wasn't in the version you handed in for time restraints.
Yep.
But it is
like the actual
like in the released version.
Is like, yes, the actual movie that I like put out there, I think is like 20 minutes, and they wanted like 10.
So like that was honestly like the first time I'd worked, you know, on a set. And then this year comes around, we do another short,
which was very different.
Which was, and
we went from like 3 people, we can only shoot this weekend, and it's only whoever's available, to we had like full-on set with people and planned out times, and we had been going over the script
sound
for
stages
years at this point. We had sound stages and sets and elaborate stuff, and you know, breaking of laws and such.
We did. There's no student film you can make without being like, yeah, the cops almost got called on us.
Without bending a few rules.
There was like 2 days where we had somewhere between 12 and 15 people in one room of a small apartment.
That was insane. A 1-bedroom apartment that's barely a bedroom.
Yeah, and we were just all crowded in. Also, with all of this, you know, we unlike the waiting room, we had equipment. Yeah, we had so much
all those
shit.
Fancy names.
And like, okay, we shot this almost a year ago now. So forgive me for this, but
crazy to think of.
February is when we shot it.
Yeah, we shot in February, or did we shoot in January? We shot in February.
February.
Wow. That's crazy. It's funny that you remember that better than I do.
I will say, like, filming this short film that we will talk about later was like the coolest moment of my life, and it happened this year.
Well, I'm really glad to have brought you into the fold, man. I mean, couldn't have done it without you, and the project would not be the same if you weren't attached. So
and now,
I'm really looking forward to everything in the future that's coming up.
And now I own the company. This is a hostile takeover.
Son of a bitch, not again. It's the third time this week.
Me and Paramount are buying a Vibe Too Many Entertainment.
Son of a bitch! At least sell it to Netflix, not Paramount.
But yeah, that's a little sneak peek of Vibe Too Many 2025. It was like that short film we released, and then we didn't stop thinking about it for like 6 months as we were working on it.
Yeah,
like we spent a year in
at least
a year in full pre-production.
Right.
Casting, script approval, cutting the script, letting go of actors taking on other projects, and so we had to recast roles. Like a solid full year of that. Then we shot it. Shooting took only 4 days.
And then it was over.
And then it was
then
not.
Post-production started.
I was like, and then it was not over because we spent the next 6 months or something editing it, this, that, and the other thing. I always considered myself like
at least 3. It was at least 3 months because it was, you know, done by May. So we shot in February. So the rest of February, March, April, May. So like
and then
3-4-ish months.
Yeah. And like I always consider myself a pretty like capable editor, not a good editor. And then I was in like an editing suite with Robin. This is the cool part. Folks that want to do movies but don't go to film school, make friends with people in film school. They take you to cool editing suites.
It's a good life hack.
I was there just watching them work and being like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I don't know what the fuck's happening half the time either.
We had we could take this moment to give like a good shout out to the cast and crew of that short film. Maybe we should wait till we actually talk about it so I can say the name of the fucking short film.
Shout out to them. You know who you are, cast and crew. Without you guys, that movie would not exist, and it would not be nearly as good as it is.
Some of whom we're still kicking it with. Shout out to Micah. Shout out to Chris, Yadelis. You know.
Shout out to all of them.
Those are the people I specifically named because we stole them to work for our company now. Well, we're a movie podcast, aren't we, Robin?
Yeah, I think we are a movie podcast.
I kind of wanted to ask generically, blanket, your thoughts on the movies that came out in 2025. You feel like it was a good year, you know? Where's your head at?
Like, I think like when you sent me the list and before I even looked at it, and I was just like ruminating, I guess, on the movies I'd seen, I had like thought fondly of my time in 2025 in movies. But then when I looked through the list, I realized that I hadn't really watched that many, and the ones that had came out like there weren't too many that I was like, oh yeah, that movie. So honestly, like I feel like 2025 had some like great movies, and I had some shows and films that I really enjoyed and enjoyed watching and whatever. But like not too many that I can remember and point to and go, oh yeah, that was a great 2025 movie. Like I to this day will commend the fantastic 2023 film The Flash. But like
that's Robin's favorite movie.
Yeah, my absolute favorite movie. But if someone tries
they got a Flash tattoo, like, it's just Ezra Miller as a chest piece.
Yeah, this isn't a Deadpool shirt; it's a Flash shirt actually. But yeah, like if someone name a 2025 movie, I'd be like, huh. But like if someone told me to name a 2023 movie. I had no idea what year The Flash came out.
I still haven't even seen it. What's funny is I actually, as someone that like, I've worked at my store for like 3 years now, and I just realized I am 5 minutes away from a movie theater at work.
Well, shit.
So I like the second half of the year, I went to the movies a decent amount. I think it was a really good slate this year. Like shockingly, I think it doesn't have like the clear like this is an all-time great movie. No, there is one. What the fuck am I saying? Fucking, we're going to talk about Sinners until the day we die. One of the things I was most impressed about the 2025 slate of films is it enforced something I've been saying for years. And, like, this is kind of like common knowledge for the film as an industry. Horror will always reign supreme, financially. This year had so many great horror films, and like I am a horror first person. Horror movies are my thing, but you can make them for such a little budget. Like when you look at movies like Together that came out this year, or Bring Her Back, or stuff like that, they're made on relatively low budgets and made a ton of movies, made a ton of money. Movies like Weapons and Sinners and Frankenstein were kind of like topping people's, you know, favorite movie charts, but also like doing really well at the box office. And it was just a really good year for horror movies in general. So that's what I was most stoked about. Do we want to get into the awards?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, let's get started. So we got a.
You know what, Robin? I'm sorry, Robin. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is very rude of me. But I think for the first time in this company's history, there's not a big enough vibe. There's not a vibe too many right now. We are under-vibed. So if you could just give me like
a vibe too little, one might say.
A vibe too little, and that's not our company. We fucking hate those guys.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck.
Stole my name.
All my homies hate a vibe too little, which is what I call Robin.
Son of a bitch.
So if you don't mind, if you would indulge me, I have a few things to maybe bring up the vibe.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Should I just twiddle my thumbs or something?
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. I don't really care.
That works. I don't know if I have a strap on.
Oh, that was anticlimactic on that. It's the 2025 Vibe Too Many Awards.
But Kurt, your glasses say 2026.
It's the 2026 Vibe Too Many Awards. I forgot the year. I didn't have a top hat, and this hat is knocking off my headphones, so I'm gonna... Yeah, it's the Vibe Too Many Awards. We gotta be hyped. We gotta be... I'm not holding my microphone. I'm really hoping I'm shouting. We gotta be, like, overly hyped. I expected this bottle... I expected this bottle to pop louder. It didn't. I'm gonna chug this entire bottle of champagne. Hopefully that's not against TOS. You should know here at a Vibe Too Many Entertainment, all our drinks are warm, because fuck ice.
Fuck ice.
I look so...
Now that's a vibe.
I look so incredibly stupid. Robin, it is time for the Vibe Too Many Awards.
Woo!
I haven't eaten today, either.
So you're going to have a fun time.
So...
A vibe too many, perhaps.
We might be having a drink too many.
Little does the audience know it is currently 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, welcome to the Vibe Too Many Awards. This is our year-end review. I've spent so much time putting this shit together. I had to buy a bottle of champagne. I don't know the last time I bought a bottle I gotta get rid of this shit. I bought like a pack of 2026 glasses, because that's the only way they were selling it on Amazon. So I have like 4 of those, and I don't know when I'm going to use those again. I was wearing this shirt underneath my hoodie the whole time.
Were you really? I didn't even notice.
It was very nice because it is 40 degrees in my bedroom right now. Robin, what I'm going to...
I feel like if you're going to be casually sipping on champagne, I feel like I got to join you somehow.
You want to go grab a drink? We'll pause.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, but now I can't put ice in it. Shit.
No, we drink that shit room temperature.
Exactly.
The champagne might be rushing to my head.
So, I don't have champagne, but, I mean, I have the next best thing, I guess. Cheap whiskey.
Oh, nice. I'll drink to that.
Room temperature, because fuck ice.
The first annual Vibe Too Many. These, I made sure these pictures are to scale. Robin's picture is on the set of the film we were talking about. And this is me yesterday, if you would believe that. If you won't believe that, it was like 10 years ago. But these pictures are to scale, fun fact. Welcome. By the way, just to run something by you, the first annual Vibies, perhaps? Everyone wins a Vibie today?
Ooh.
I thought about that at work. I didn't include it in the slideshow because I literally thought about it last night. We were looking to give out some beautiful Vibies today and probably get hammered. The first annual Vibe Too Many Awards. Are you ready for the first award, Robin? The first award we're ever giving.
Fuck yeah.
We're starting with the Forgettable Film of the Year. This is a film that you have not thought of since it came out. So the Forgettable Film of the Year, of course, there's 1,000 movies that come out a year. And
But wait, before we get into the actual award, I'm so curious what your thought process was of putting Pearl Harbor as the cover photo for this award.
In each title category here, I posted like some general vibes, because we are a Vibe Too Many, and now we are vibing properly. I decided to put a great example of each, and I feel like Pearl Harbor is pretty fucking forgettable as a film. But yeah, this is the award. For the movie that you might have saw a poster, might have saw a trailer, maybe you even watched the movie, but you haven't thought about it since. And after we are done talking about it, you won't remember it again. But forgettable, let's go to Robin's pick. Is Avatar, Fire and Ash. I would love to hear your thought process on this, because I have conflicting feelings on this, but take it away, Robin.
Honestly, there was 2 schools of thought. First off, I haven't seen it, so like I feel bad on one hand giving it to this, but also the fact that I haven't seen it, I feel like speaks to the fact that it's getting this award already. When Avatar came out in 2009, that movie was the best. That movie was everything. It was a cultural phenomenon. I was all over that movie. And then the second one came out, and it was just the first movie reskinned. So then I immediately lost all hope in the franchise. I was like, oh, okay, so he's just going to continue to recycle ideas. So then Avatar Fire and Ash comes out, and I had no energy in me to see it whatsoever. Because based off of how the first and second went, I was expecting another movie that did the same thing, just reskinned. So for me, like, the franchise in 2009 was booming. It was everything everybody was talking about, and now it's just another movie that came out this year. To me, it was that forgettable because the second one was the same as the first. So why is the third going to be any different?
As I said, I have, like, conflicting feelings about your pick here. Because it's the third part of, like... because it's the third part of, like, a billion-dollar franchise, I think people are going to remember that it came out. But I don't think people are going to, like, remember the plot.
Like, if someone asked me about a specific character that, like, just popped up in the last two, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one they premiered in because they're the same movie.
That's kind of where I think you kind of, like, that's the one thing where I'm like, yeah, that's why this movie makes sense, is because I don't think anyone's going to be able to tell any specifics from it. They might remember it exists.
Could you tell me who any of the characters' names are? I can remember Jake Sully and Natiri, and that's it.
I can't remember two of those. The one thing that's kind of getting me through the fact that at some point we're going to have to watch all of these movies is I am a James Cameron fan. Those first two Terminator films are like fucking perfection. So he kind of has infinite leeway.
Even with these movies in mind, I'm a James Cameron fan in the way that he has pushed the industry forward. And
yeah, that's... This technology is important. I just wish he told a good story.
That he has helped, create and build upon with these movies is fantastic and will go on to serve the film industry for decades. But the films that they use to create themselves are 100% are not that great.
So, Robin, this is a monumentous pick because this is the first ever Vibey winner.
The first ever Vibey
Give it up to James Cameron, everyone. Give it up to James Cameron.
Give it up to James Cameron.
Mr. Cameron, would you like to give a speech? He's not here.
Oh, damn. We didn't get Cameron? Son of a bitch.
I've never met James Cameron.
I've been exchanging emails with his secretary for months now, and he couldn't show up. God.
Oh, that was just me. How about we go on to my pick?
Yes, let's do it.
After James Cameron, decorated director of some of the most influential films of all time, wins our first ever Vibey. We're not going to talk about why. My pick for forgettable film of the year is A Working Man, directed by David Ayer, I think.
Oh, they dragged David Ayer into this? I haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah, that's because no one remembers it. I actually, when I went to make this pick, I looked up the movie Beekeeper, which was a different Jason Statham movie.
I've heard of that one too.
That came out last year.
The
they're all the fucking same. That's why this is so... No one will remember this movie came out. Someone in 10 years is going to look at Jason Statham's IMDb, and it's going to start with, like, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which is a fucking blast of a film, and then you're going to get to back-to-back The Beekeeper and A Working Man. This is the epitome of forgettable. So I live in New Jersey, but I work in New York, so I go to Penn Station every single day. And in March, and I only know this movie came out in March because it's in big letters on the poster, there was a giant poster for it as soon as I walked out of the train station. That's the only reason I know this movie exists. Because it's the same fucking thing Jason Statham has been doing for years now.
Honestly, I almost feel bad for the other contestants because I feel like this was just such a in-the-bag win for Jason Statham.
Because that's his career.
Because
outside of Fast and Furious.
His whole career outside of Fast and Furious is creating forgettable action movies that will entertain a very specific demographic for half
who
of
won't remember they watched the movie. This is nobody's favorite film.
So what is this movie even about?
I don't fucking...
I know nothing about it.
A guy who I guess has a job because he's a working man comes out of retirement to be a tough guy.
And apparently,
I'm just noticing
Suicide Squad. No, not the Suicide Squad.
The bad one.
The bad one. So fans of the bad Suicide Squad movie should definitely check it out.
And I'm noticing now, because I was like, this movie is the same movie as The Beekeeper, which came out a year before. And then I turned to my left and saw the poster, and I realized it's the same fucking director, too.
Checks out.
It says from the director of Suicide Squad and The Beekeeper. You made the same movie twice.
So mid-actors meeting up with mid-directors and making mid-movies. Are we surprised?
Congratulations, David Ayer, on your Vibe. And you know what? Let's give one to Jason Statham, too.
You know what? Jason Statham definitely deserves this award.
He's at the heart of this thing.
We need to give one to both the director and the main actor. Because without both of them combined, this wouldn't be a forgettable film.
This
Jason
is a
Statham alone, it might have been interesting. David Ayer alone, it might have been interesting. But them together, unforgettable, forgettable film. Them together.
Shall we get on to the next Vibe, Robin? The best bad movie. So this is a movie that might not be necessarily good. Maybe it's not terrible, though. 2025, like every year, saw a lot of bad movies. But there has to be a king of the shit. Something that just wasn't quite as bad as the other movies. So how about we start with Robin's pick? Are you ready, Robin?
I'm so ready.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Robin, why did you pick Five Nights at Freddy's 2?
So Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I weirdly have a personal investment into the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise.
The movies are like the games, too?
All of it.
Okay.
Not because I have been a crazy fan of Five Nights at Freddy's since its inception, but because my partner has been a Five Nights at Freddy's fan since its inception.
Knowing what I know about... Something about queer people and Five Nights at Freddy's just go hand in hand.
It's like a solid franchise. I mean, I want to say I've played like 3 of the games. And they're
How many
good
games are there?
Oh, like over 6, I think. I don't
Fucking
even,
hell.
I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of comics.
I know there's a lot of lore. I
got that into it. Like, I respect the franchise because I think it has great world building and it has a lot of great story elements that I've heard about either through Corey, my partner, or through like the grapevine of
Shout out
the
Corey.
internet, you know? So I know very little about it, and yet I still genuinely respect like the franchise's IP.
What did you think about like the movies?
So the movie, again, as I said, my partner, devout fan of the games, the franchises as a whole, all of the lore, the comics, everything. Both him and I agree that this movie was so terrible.
That's what I've heard.
Every second of the movie, we were looking at each other like, this is so bad. When you look at it like a video game turned into a movie, most gripes you would expect to get from it are like, oh, they're not loyal to the video game, they're not loyal to this, they're not loyal to that. Even like all of that thrown out the window. Corey, as a fan, at least while we were watching it, wasn't saying anything like, oh, they didn't do it like the games, they didn't do this, they didn't do... That was not any of his gripes. It was just a bad movie.
So why is it the best bad movie?
The best bad movie. So I would say that it's the best bad movie because you can watch it and enjoy how bad it is.
So it's like one of those so bad it's good.
No, not even that. Like The Room is a movie that's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
That you could watch it and be like, oh my god, Tommy Wiseau meant for this to be a drama, but it's a comedy. You watch Five Nights at Freddy's and it's like, oh my god, it's so bad that like I want to put it on to make fun of it. Like The Room you put on as a comedy. You put it on, it was not intended to be a comedy, it's a comedy, and you can enjoy it as a comedy. You put on Five Nights at Freddy's to just get mad at how bad a movie it was, and like laugh at how bad of a movie it was.
There's a question I want to ask, and it is probably the liquor talking.
I'm very curious.
So they bought. I know Skeet Ulrich is also in the movie. I'm hoping it is as homoerotic as Scream is. So is it as homoerotic?
Between them two specifically,
yes.
Or just
specifically them two? Specifically them two.
I don't think they actually share any screen time in the movie.
All right, 1 out of 10. Let's do a quick liquor check. I've almost finished the bottle.
Son of a bitch.
The rest of it is in this mug, and this mug is like a quarter full. I forgot what I was going to say, so how about we go on to my pick for the best bad movie of the year.
I'm so down.
So my pick for the best bad movie of the year is something I was quite disappointed by 28 years later.
You know, it's actually really funny you bring that up because, it's funny that this is your pick because my roommate had a viewing party, essentially. I mean, well, it was a Halloween party, but 90% of the party was taken up by watching 28 Years Later, and I haven't watched the movie, but I sat in my room, like, you know, a wall separating me from this watch party, listening to the loud-ass shit from 28 Years Later, and I still wasn't interested in seeing the movie.
28 Days Later, the very first movie of this franchise, is the best zombie movie after George Romero. It is a landmark of a movie. Robin, you will fucking love it. It is on Netflix for like a few more days. Check it out. It is smart. It is scary. It is brilliantly acted. It is like 29-year-old Cillian Murphy who shows his dick in the opening scene.
Legend.
It is such a well-done movie. And then they did a sequel directed by someone else a couple years after that, 28 Weeks Later, which is fine. I don't like it, but it's not... Like, if I was getting ready for work, I wouldn't mind putting it on. It's one of those movies. 28 Years Later, I was so pumped for it, right? They're starting this new trilogy. And here is what I'll say about the movie. We went in opposite directions with our picks. You picked a movie that is so bad it's entertaining to watch. I picked a movie that does nothing bad. There is nothing bad in this movie. There's just also nothing really good in it either. It just is. It took me a whole day to realize I didn't actually like the movie. There's nothing in the movie I actively hate. There's also nothing in the movie I actively love. The first half of the movie is dedicated to like this new society in Scotland. We learn that the UK is really the only place where the zombie apocalypse happened, and it's in quarantine. And so we learn a little bit about like this society that sprouted up after 28 days and 28 weeks. And I was really interested to find out about it, only to learn that the second half has nothing to do with that and is instead about a boy in the wild. Look, this movie I thought was mediocre out of anything. I'm still hooked for the next one. I'm so excited. It's all Ray Fiennes. It's Jack O'Connell. Robin, shall we get on to the next 5?
Absolutely.
The Why Did You Think This Would Work award. This is a movie that, from the get-go, we should have realized had no fucking shot of making it. I know my pick, from the second they announced it, I was like, oh, this is going to bomb. And it did. So, are you ready for the Why Did You Think This Would Work award, Robin?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
It is a unanimous choice for Tron Ares. We both picked the same movie. I, in fact, wrote this category just for Tron Ares. I think we have different reasons as to why we picked this. So, Robin, would you like to go into your reason why you picked Tron Ares?
Just a preface. I love the concept of Tron. I don't think any movie that is Tron has ever executed it very well, but the concept of Tron has always been interesting to me, and like I remember my roommates in college even joking about writing their own like Tron sequel because they love Tron Legacy so much. But the second I heard Tron Ares was coming out, not only was I convinced that it wasn't going to do well because no Tron movie has ever done well, but also because not only is it an IP that has never done well, but also they're involving the cultist pedophile leader Jared Leto in it? Are you kidding me?
What are you talking about, man? He's one of the biggest actors ever. I'm sure he has so many successful movies. Robin, you have to realize this man takes his roles so seriously. Like he is a method actor. Like Daniel Day-Lewis. He has to be good in the movie, right?
Absolutely. Because method acting is definitely the end-all be-all decider as to whether or not you are a good actor.
You did actually touch on my reason why I picked Tron Ares. Why I created this whole category for the specific reason of Tron Ares. And that's that the first Tron movie came out, I think, in the late 70s. It was Jeff Bridges. It's not a bad movie, by the way, the first one. You have to
do well.
You have to get over some stuff because it was the late 70s and they were doing their best with CGI. It's not a terrible movie, but it's that financially, no Tron movie has ever been successful. Ever. Tron bombed. Tron Legacy fucking bombed and ruined the film industry for a little bit. People were making fun of all the CGI that we forgot that you could use CGI for good things. I was so mad when you picked Tron Ares. Because that's why I created this category, was for Tron Ares.
That's so funny.
I was like, the second they announced the Tron movie, I'm like, oh, that's not going to do well, but it might be a pretty good movie. The original Tron is a good movie.
Genuinely,
Tron Legacy is watchable.
If Jared Leto just wasn't in this movie,
yeah, you said it would be pretty good, right?
But basically, my feelings of it is that I would watch it, and like for the first like half of the movie, it's pretty like not exactly clear if Jared Leto is or not the main character. I mean, it is clear, but like he wears a mask
because it's Jared Leto.
He has a blacked out mask. Half the time, it's not Jared Leto.
He's
it's
probably
Jared
not even on set.
Double.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not him half the movie. And then like any second where it'd be like it would be Ares in his cool like Ares outfit, and then the mask would turn off, and then it's Jared, and I'd be like, oh fuck, right, it's a Jared fucking Leto.
Ah,
movie.
This cocksucker.
Genuinely, I don't think this movie would like be my pick for why do you think this would work. If Jared Leto was not, I still would be like, oh, a Tron movie? It's not going to make money. It's probably not going to be great.
Yeah, it never does.
It's going to be whatever. But honestly, I would have enjoyed this movie so much more if Jared Leto was in it, which is funny because he's not terrible in it. He plays a emotionless robot very well because, you know, he has no emotionless pedophile. But anyway.
I've never seen it. I'll watch it at some point.
It's so
Why
bad.
the fuck did you think this would work? Like, are we ready for the next Vibey? I forgot there were more categories.
We're ready for the next Vibey.
More than ready. Hater of the Year. This is an award given to someone who just hated so hard that we had to give them a Vibey. Let's see Robin's Hater of the Year. Lex Luthor. Robin, do you care to mention why you said fictional character Lex Luthor is the hater of the year?
So, I feel like I've talked a lot on my picks. I feel like this is the most self-explanatory, and I'll try to keep it brief to keep this moving. But this man actively started a war simply because he wanted an excuse to punch Superman in the face. I think that is fantastic in terms of hater stats. I mean, like, come on, man. Like, he didn't want the land, he didn't want the money, he wanted an excuse to punch Superman in the face. Therefore, he fabricated a war and all this bullshit that he did in the movie just to punch Superman in the face. If that's not hater of the year, I don't know what.
All right, so can I be honest about something?
Absolutely.
When I created this category, I thought you were going to pick my pick. I created this category so I could say Lex Luthor.
Did you really?
I fucking had to change my pick. I was going to say...
Why didn't you? It could have been another unanimous one.
Because there was another person that I felt like deserved conversation, but I thought you would pick him because it's someone we've talked about. And I was like, I'm going to go with Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor...
Let's move right or wrong. I feel like we all agree on Lex Luthor. Let's hear your pick.
KJ Colelo's pick for Hater of the Year, because I couldn't give it to myself, was Quentin Tarantino, director, pain in the ass, foot guy.
That's a good one.
Why the fuck are you beefing with
Paul
Dano? Paul Dano is an actor who's been working...
I fully forgot about that, all that drama.
He is I'm not even as big of a Paul Dano fan as other people, but I think he is great. Good to great fantastic. In every movie he's ever been in. Robin, do you remember, over a decade ago, how we became friends?
I think you're going to have to remind me.
we bonded over the movie Reservoir Dogs, directed by my hater of the year pick, Quentin Tarantino. So, like, we have genuine, like I have emotional connection to Tarantino's movies. I'm going to ask you a second question. There, Robin. Do you happen to know where Quentin Tarantino lives?
Where he lives? No idea.
Lives. If you had a guess. Give me one guess.
I don't know. Fucking LA?
Fuck you. The man lives in Israel.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
But Quentin Tarantino, this year, between hating on Paul Dano, calling him the weakest actor in SAG, when Quentin, you yourself are in SAG and are a shit actor, hating on Owen Wilson, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but he's done some great movies, hating on Matthew Lillard, the ultimate nice dude to fans and everyone around, hating on all of these people as well as the Palestinians trying to free themselves from oppression. You still come in second place because I think it was Lex Luthor. I fucking hate Quentin Tarantino because I used to love Tarantino.
Oh, Jesus. I think we might have had a vibe too many, and then the.
Shh. I think there were too many vibes, Robin. I think the vibes may or may not have caused some camera glitches.
I mean that checks out. We were definitely vibing real hard at them Vibey Awards. I mean,
a lot of vibes.
I might have had a vibe too many, I'd say. Whew.
There was also a lot of liquor. Do you think that could have anything to do with our current state?
No, I don't think so.
You're probably right. Just in case, I do have what we're drinking today. It's water. Anyway, should we like get back in? Should we tell Vibe Too Many Nation who won the second half of our Vibies?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, yeah. Well, before that, we do have to get vibey again. So.
Son of a bitch.
But this is the Vibies. We're not doing this without getting some good vibes in.
Of course.
But anyway, should we get into the second half of the Vibey Awards?
Fuck yeah, we should.
All right, let's get into the second half. So we are starting with our next award, the Take a Break Award. This is an award that goes to an actor that has just been working so hard recently that they should take a break, take a vacation. So how about we start off with Robin's pick for the Take a Break Award? Timothée Chalamet. Fun fact, this is an award I kind of have some beef with, but I'm going to let Robin take it away first.
I think your beef might be totally valid because, to be honest, I couldn't really think of something for this one, but this guy immediately popped in my head because I think last year he did so much, and I'm just kind of over it. I'm like, dude, like, just take a break, sit out for a year, it's fine. He's quite good in everything. Like, he's a solid actor. That's why, take a break. I don't dislike you. I think he's a solid actor. But, take a break. Like, let people miss you.
Hey, Robin, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many movies Timothée Chalamet did this year?
No, actually.
One.
Well, shit.
Do you know how many movies Timothée Chalamet did last year?
2.
1.
Son of a bitch. Why do I feel like I'm seeing him every other Tuesday?
Because he does like one movie a year. And that movie tends to be like one of the bigger movies, which I think is maybe where some of your fatigue comes in. Yeah, Timothée Chalamet, I kind of get it because it's not that he's in so many movies, it's just that every fucking time this dude is in a movie, it is like one of the bigger movies of the year. And he is a genius at marketing. So whenever he's doing his press tours, I see him
so much.
Whenever he's doing these press tours, you always are seeing this guy. He's always around.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, especially because of like the intense liking that people have taken to him, that I feel like every time I go on the internet, I see, oh, Timothée Chalamet on this anime review. Oh, Timothée Chalamet from 16 years ago. Oh, Timothée Chalamet outside your building right now. Like, it's everywhere.
Oh, shit,
and, like, I get it. He's a good actor, but, like, Jesus.
He is actually outside my building. What's up, dude?
I knew he was walking around New Jersey.
We'll play hoops in a second. Let me just finish talking about why we're kind of sick of seeing you. That's not true. I do like him. I wish he picked better roles, because a lot of the movies he's done, I've been like, why don't you take your model girlfriend on vacation, Tim? Seriously. Just hang out for a year. Once you're done filming Doom,
take a break.
Take a vacation on Arrakis. Did I get that planet name right?
You did get the planet name right.
That's because I watched the David Lynch one. Congratulations, Timothée Chalamet, on your Vibey, as we talked about. Highest rated award show out there. Now, shall we get on to my pick?
Of course. Let's do it.
My pick for the Take a Break award is Josh Brolin. Now, before I created this award because I thought Robin would pick Pedro Pascal.
That would have been a better pick. That would have been a better pick.
He had 3 movies in the theaters at the same time. I watched 2 of them, and I quite like 2 of them. This, I'm not here to disparage the great name of Pedro Pascal, man.
I mean, honestly, the only reason that I probably didn't nominate him for Take a Break award is I can't get enough of Pedro Pascal. I want more Pedro
Robin's
Pascal.
like, don't take breaks.
Don't take breaks. Keep working. I like watching Pedro Pascal.
But yeah, so either way I was going to go Josh Brolin. And the main topic of this is not because I dislike Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin is actually one of my favorite actors on the planet.
Great actor.
He just did 3 fucking movies this year. So Josh Brolin is nearly 60 years old. He's getting towards
that's a number.
Normal person retirement age. He's been working for 40 fucking years. And he did 3 movies this year.
Insane.
He did Weapons, Wake Up Dead Man, and The Running Man. 3 movies I liked, and I thought he was, like, phenomenal in all of them. But I'm like, dude, you got kids. He's got young kids.
Seriously. I mean, hey, with all that
working for half
with all that pocket change from three different movies, I hope that he can take his kids on a solid vacation.
I have to imagine at least the Avengers money would have gotten him somewhere.
I mean, yeah.
Josh Brolin, 3 movies this year. You got to, what? He took 2 months on average filming these, probably. Running Man had like a pretty big production value. Josh Brolin, also a great actor in his own right. He's one of those actors I will go to see in like any movie. If it has Josh Brolin, I'm like, fuck it, I'll watch it.
Valid.
He actually has one of my favorite line deliveries of the year. When he did Weapons, when he was in Weapons, there's this dream sequence, and at the end he sees Aunt Gladys, and he wakes up, like he shoots awake and goes, "What the fuck?" And it was so goddamn funny. After like
it's reading the minds of all of the viewers right there. That line.
It really was. Go take a break, man. We'll be glad to see you when you're back. Leave us wanting more.
Absolutely.
On to the next award. We have
on to the next.
The Oh Shit They Can Act award. This award goes to an actor that maybe you knew of, and they just showed you this year that they really, really, really are something special. On to Robin's pick for the Oh Shit They Can Act award. Nell Fisher, someone I do not know, so take it away.
So yeah, Stranger Things Season 5 came out this year, and boy, was it one of the shows of the year. one of my main problems with Stranger Things season 5 was that they introduced a bunch of new characters that took a significant amount of screen time away from the characters we just spent a whole decade like learning and growing with. I like significant characters. I feel like had a lot less screen time because they introduced characters like Nell Fisher's character, who was who was casted as Mike's younger sister. And that being said, I just said I did not enjoy that they got new characters. I did not enjoy that they took a screen time away from the main characters. And yet still, whenever she was on screen, I felt completely like into the story and was like grabbed by her acting. So even though, you know, like this is a up and coming actor who like just showed up in this show that I did not want to see, I had no interest in this character. This character had no development whatsoever in 4 seasons of Stranger Things, and all of a sudden she's like the focal point of this season. And I was pissed off as shit by that. And yet still I couldn't help but appreciate Nell's acting and be dragged in by it. So yeah, super annoyed that the character had as much screen time as they did, and yet still was pretty impressed by the acting. So I'd say that that's why they've earned a very solid Vibey Award as, oh shit, this person can act. Because even though I hated your character and the reason why they're even in the movie, I still found myself listening to every word they said.
Yeah, crappy writing is on no fault of the actors. Actors can only do what they're given with. So I think this is like a really hot start to a career.
Absolutely.
For like a very young actress, I think still like a teenager. That's a solid resume to have.
Seriously, at such a young 16, age,
you know?
Yeah, I mean it's very impressive, especially like given the fact like Stranger Things has been a show that has existed for 10 years that so many people are fans of.
Show.
I'm sure it wasn't easy getting that role.
On to my pick for the oh shit they can act award. Josh O'Connor. Josh O'Connor is an actor I think a lot of people knew of, and then I just kind of knew him as he's in Challengers and he's plays one of the royalty in The Crown. But yeah, so I was like aware of him. I was like, yeah, he's that British guy with the big ears. Then he does Wake Up Dead Man, and I am a huge fan of the Benoit Blanc movies. Don't call them the Knives Out movies. That makes no sense. The Benoit Blanc movies, that's how like mystery novels are marketed. Because I fucking love murder mysteries. I'm such a sucker for murder mysteries. And Josh O'Connor in that movie blew the fucking doors down. He was unbelievable. I didn't expect that you can do one of these movies and not constantly be drawn to Blanc. Because obviously Daniel Craig he's fun and he's smooth and he's doing the funny accent. He's doing the, he's doing all the stuff that, all the Hercule Poirots of the world, all the Columbos of the world do, and it's Daniel Craig, so he like draws you in. But in this movie, Daniel Craig only has like 40 lines in it, or something crazy like that. And then this one is like basically all Josh O'Connor. And you see the torment on his face as he grapples with his faith and his morality and everything going around him. There's a great scene in it when they call someone because they're looking for some background information on the grave site. And, they're really eager to, like, get this information, so they're kind of rushing this woman along. And then she starts talking about something bad that's happened. And Josh O'Connor's character realizes, like, oh, I'm not doing my priestly duties. I'm just doing the same thing that Josh Brolin's character was doing. I'm trying to benefit my own good. And it's not like he says these things. You just see it in his face. It's just one look. You want to hear some debate going around online right now, Robin?
Sure.
There is a duel between the hot priests. Whether it be Josh O'Connor or Andrew Scott in Fleabag.
Oh.
Because Andrew Scott is also so in...
And he's fantastic.
He's also in Wake Up Dead Man. But yeah, people are debating who is the... I don't know what they're debating, who's hotter. Actor-wise, I would say Andrew Scott, but there is something about Josh O'Connor's character in Wake Up Dead Man that's a little like... There's something there. But there's a scene in Wake Up Dead Man where Josh Brolin's character pushes him, and he goes like into a boxer stance. And I watched it, and I was like, okay, I get it. They did this intentionally. Rian Johnson talks about it. They put a tattoo on his neck that like sticks half out.
I didn't even notice that.
because the character used to be like a boxer. His story was he killed a man in the ring, and he feels bad because he hated the other boxer, so he killed the man with hate in his heart. And so he has all these tattoos, and he's got this one tattoo, and it works as like really good for the story. Also, it kind of looks good on him.
Neck tattoos, am I right?
So to our next award.
Next award.
Your dad's favorite movie. Guys, this is my favorite award of the entire... But your dad's favorite movie. This is the award that is like the most dad movie out there. A movie that is best watched standing 5 feet away from the TV like this. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Your dad's favorite movie, Robin's pick, is The Toxic Avenger. Why don't you take it away, Robin?
A solid movie. Such a fun watch. So much camp. So ridiculous. So funny. Like, you gotta go into this movie and you gotta go, I'm not here to watch a superhero movie. I'm here to have a fun time watching Peter Dinklage hit people with a radioactive mop. It keeps you engaged the whole time. It's ridiculous. And I could absolutely see your dad walking in halfway through the movie and going, oh, what movie is this? And you explain the plot and everything, and you expect him to just like walk out, as dads usually do. And then he sits there for the rest of like the 45 minutes that you have left of the movie with no context, just because he's entertained. And then the final credits start rolling and he goes, oh, it was pretty good. And then 3 days later you walk into the living room and he's watching it again and you're like, oh, hey, now you're going to catch the other half.
You know what I think helps with that is some nostalgia. Toxic Avenger was originally an 80s movie. I want to say
Absolutely.
80s. 70s or 80s.
Nostalgia specifically for my dad, too, because Jersey.
So, yeah, you got, like, the nostalgia bait in there. It's a New Jersey, our superhero played by one of our own in Peter Dinklage. And I think the other thing that benefits from that is your dad, and of course, Robin, I do not specifically mean your dad, but the general your dad again, watches movies in 2 ways. One is the way we talked about, 5 feet away from the TV, arms crossed, nodding the head. The other way is this. And then they sleep through the movie.
Yep.
And this movie won't let you sleep through it. It's too entertaining to not watch.
It keeps you engaged.
If I was to create the generic dad in my head, what would his favorite movie of the year be? And it was kind of an obvious choice for me. So my pick for your dad's favorite movie of the year is F1. Like, come on.
That's a solid pick. That's a solid pick.
This is a dad movie. It's a sports movie. It's specifically a racing movie with Brad Pitt. But, like, it is such a dad. It's about an old man who comes into a young man's sport. That is the official movie for any dad that watches a baseball game and be like, I think I could hit off a Aroldis Chapman. I think I could hit off a Aroldis Chapman throwing 102 fucking miles per hour.
With my dislocated shoulder and my slipped disc.
I was not saying you fucking pull your muscles standing off the couch from watching F1.
We hear your knees crack whenever you sit down. You're gonna crack a baseball? Sure, Dad.
And yeah, meanwhile, they watch a movie where Brad Pitt comes in and just dominates F1 racing after some struggles. Because son, you can't just do something. You really gotta work towards... Like, this is the most dad movie of all time. F1, everyone... Talk to your dads about F1. They haven't heard from you in a minute. They want to have, like, a good conversation. They don't know how to reach out to you. They don't know how to get on your level. But if you were to just be like, hey, Dad, what'd you think about F1? Bam. Father
problem solved.
Achieved. Anyway, on to our next award. The short film of the year. This is a film that is under 40 minutes in length. Just something good to get some young filmmakers out there. Can I be honest about something, Robin?
Yes, you can.
I created this as a trap.
Well, shit.
This was my trap card. I sent Robin a list of all the awards and like a brief description about them. I didn't say what I was going to be winning, so it's a complete shock. Well, let's get into the winner. The winner of the short film of the year is a unanimous choice. It's A Spoonful of Murder, and this is where the trap was supposed to come in, where obviously this is our short film, the one that came out this year, made by Vibe Too Many Entertainment, directed by Robin Campbell, featuring myself in it. I thought Robin would be like, well, we didn't get a mass release, so I can't choose ours. Let me choose something else. Maybe one of our friends, maybe, hype up one of our co-producers, stuff like that. And then I got the note back that Robin picked Spoonful as well. And it specifically said, A Spoonful of Murder, obviously. And I was like, well, I don't fucking know any other short film to change mine to. So congrats. We gave our own award a Vibey.
Yeah, so much fun. We had so much fun shooting that film. It was a fantastic film with some fantastic people. Shout out to the cast and crew. Without each and every one of you, that film would have not been the success that it was. Go give it a watch. It's fantastic. It's 15 minutes. If you got a spare 15 minutes.
Probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. It was so much fun to be on set.
It was an absolute honor and a privilege to be able to create such a fun thing with some awesome people. I mean, I kind of went into this project as okay, this would be a fun, cool thing. I never really did a comedy before, so this would be like a fun, cool little break from that, and it's a fun last movie to do with my friends in film school. And even if it turned out a pile of crap, at least it was a fun time doing it. And yet still, at the end of the day, it was a fantastic cast and crew who put it together, and the end product is still amazing.
And then to indulge Robin, because Robin won't fillet themselves. The last day of shooting, we'd spent 2 days in this really small apartment. And it was 15 people? And basically a living room.
Yeah.
All crammed in, with all this equipment and stuff in it. And, as we're cleaning up on the last day, we're all kind of feeling some sort of way because it was such a cool experience and now it's over, but we're all excited to see the finished product. Robin stops everyone and goes person by person, telling them explicitly how they helped him with the film. Every single person, to the PAs we had on set, they pointed them out in a room full of people to say how they helped. And then Robin started to walk away, and I had to grab them and let them get their applause. And, we all, give it up for Robin Campbell. And the entire crowd erupted. 15 people that felt like a crowd in a fucking living room. Erupted into cheers and applause and everything. Because, Robin was the one that made this happen.
I mean, everything that I said in those final moments that you were talking about, I meant every word. I mean, really, without every single person in that room, this would have been nothing. So, I mean, sure I wrote it, sure I directed it, but without you, without everybody else, I mean, there's no way this would have even been a thing. So I'm incredibly humbled and grateful to have been able to make this movie.
This is also kind of a momentous occasion for two reasons. One, this is the first time Spoonful of Murder has won an award.
Hey, look at that! Oh my God.
We are an award-winning movie. The second reason that this is a landmark moment, this part is a landmark moment for the podcast, this is the first time we have a Vibey Award winner that is here to accept the Vibey.
Holy shit! That's crazy.
A Spoonful of Murder, that's the short film we did.
A fantastic film.
This
Definitely
entire
go check
segment
it out.
was such. You should go check it out. If
check
not,
it out
you will be executed.
Check it out on YouTube. You could find it on the channel of Vibe Too Many Entertainment, or just look up A Spoonful of Murder. It'll probably come.
All right. How about we go on to our final award of the Vibeys? The Vibiest film of the year. Now, this is the closest we get to Best Picture, but it might not be our favorite movie of the year.
It might not even be the best movie.
Yeah. It's just a movie that has the most vibes. Maybe it's good vibes. Maybe it's bad vibes. Who doesn't love a good horror movie with some bad vibes? But this is a movie that just had the strongest feel to it. And the inaugural winner of the Vibiest Film of the Year is a unanimous choice, Superman! Robin, why don't you take it away? Why did you love Superman so much after we had currently talked about it last week?
Would I say it's the best movie of the year? No. I would agree with you. But the sheer vibes surrounding this movie, the amount of hope core that everyone got watching this movie, the amount of people that walked out of that movie wanting to be better people, the amount of people that walked out of the movie going, that's what I needed Superman to be. The sheer hype around this movie and what it's setting up, give it the undeniable unanimous choice of Vibiest movie of the year.
Yeah, it was... when I was picturing these awards, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if, our biggest award is the Vibiest Film of the Year, because we're a Vibe Too Many. But it couldn't be, the Best Picture. It had to be, what felt
When it had
the movie with the strongest vibes. And like I was sitting there, I'm like, it's Superman. Because man,
Absolutely.
You walked out of that screening, everyone was talking about it. It was what we needed in that moment. You
Absolutely.
know? It's all of its issues are outdone by the fact that it just felt good to watch. You know, it was good to see. You know, Superman in of himself, the character Superman, as are all superheroes, are a power fantasy. You know? But Superman was always so interesting because the fantasy wasn't, oh, this man has all of the power. It's a man that is this powerful that uses it purely for good.
Exactly.
That was always the most interesting part of the character of Superman, is he is such... He just irradiates goodness. And I think we had kind of lost that for a few years.
Superman is your everyday guy who just wants to do good and happens to have powers. Like, the powers is not the focus of it. The focus of it is Clark Kent, is the deep down heart of the story. The guy who just wants to do good for the guy standing next to him. The guy that wants to build a team and wants to lift up people around him. He's like human. He's down to earth. He struggles. And even though, you know, like, he's the most powerful being on the planet, we still see him struggling to find his footing as a person, as a new superhero. Like, that is what we need out of a Superman, a human person trying to do good.
And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there when you mentioned how human he is. The whole thing with him is, despite the fact he's an alien, he is so human. I mean, that's the big monologue at the end. And what kind of turned me around to, you know, going for 24 years of hating Superman and then finally, like, it clicking last year, was like, oh, he's the perfect allegory for America. He is not from this planet, but he exemplifies everything good with it.
He's an illegal alien.
In this movie, one of the parts that's been talked about is that ending monologue, but I feel like my favorite part of it hasn't been brought up enough. Is that, you know, he's got this whole monologue about, like, how his strength is his humanity and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, this is a little on-the-nose monologue. And then he changes around at the end, and he goes, you know, my greatest strength is my humanity. And one day, I hope it's yours too, Lex. And I'm like, oh my god, that's fucking Superman.
It's Superman.
Despite everything Lex Luthor had done, it's someone that we all
still sympathized and saw the hope in him.
He won Hater of the Year. He started a fucking war. And Superman is still like, there can still be good in you. I see the best in everyone. You just have to work for it. You have to put... Like,
you have to believe in it.
That is such a Superman thing.
He's an everyday guy in the gutters, saving the squirrels. Like, he cares.
He is the best of us. He's ultimate goodness, and it was so good to finally see that. And it just...
We needed it.
The vibes were immaculate. So yeah, the Vibies from the year. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the inaugural Vibe Too Many Awards. Give it up, everyone. Woo! God, what a great award show. You know, there will be a party in the hold on. I'm getting word from our producers.
Shit, mine must be broken.
They don't like talking to you. They think you're difficult.
That makes sense.
We actually have another award. Oh my god, we have one more award to give out.
Holy shit.
I mean, they are telling me. Okay, so what I'm getting, you know, similar to sports, they will occasionally name the award after someone that, like, exemplifies it. So in the NBA, it's the Bill Russell Defensive Player of the Year. You know, if you win a batting title in the American League in baseball, it is the Rod Carew batting title. So we kind of went with the similar situation here. So let me introduce you to the next award, the final actual award, the Jared Leto Worst Guy of the Year. This is just an award that goes to someone that's just downright a bastard. No one you like. No one you even want to talk or hear about. But yeah, just someone you just fucking hate to hear about. And I think Jared Leto exemplifies that for all the reasons we said before. Now, Robin, shall we get into the worst guy of the year in honor of Jared Leto?
Absolutely.
And the winner is Jared Leto.
Oh, wow. Year. What a surprise.
Every year. It will be Jared Leto every year until the sun burns out.
Pedophile, rapist, cult leader. What can I say?
And also on top of that, you're just a shitty actor.
And then that too.
Why don't any of these movies make a profit? Because of you. Because you suck.
Jared Leto.
And then casting director, how are you still putting him in movies? Who keeps giving him these roles? Who's doing this? What casting director is like, we got to get Jared Leto in to read for this? Because he's a shitty person, but also his movies can't make a fucking profit. So every year on the Vibey Awards, you know, some of these awards will cycle in and out. Obviously, something like the Vibiest film will always be in. We will always have the Jared Leto Worst Guy of the Year. And will it be Jared Leto?
Who knows who it'll be? Who knows?
Will it be Jared Leto next year? Yeah. You know, it will. It will. And every year
only one way to find out.
Jared Leto.
Only one
watch
way to
next
find
year.
Out. Watch next year.
To see who.
Watch next year to see who wins the Jared Leto Worst Guy of the Year award.
To clarify, it will be Jared Leto, but you should come see it.
But you should see.
Oh my God, that was the first ever Vibey Awards.
Wow. How do you feel?
Let me get yours.
How do you feel, KJ?
I feel immaculate. Yeah, one of the most fascinating things I think of this award show, neither of our favorite movies won an award.
Yeah. I mean, I think our favorite movie of the year is also a unanimous choice. I don't know about you.
It's technically not.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I
have a different favorite movie, but like the one you're about to talk about is like the movie of the year, I think.
Yeah, which is hilarious that it won nothing. But Sinners, we didn't even have an award that could properly describe how great that film was.
It would be disrespectful.
It would have been disrespectful to give it the Vibiest movie of the year, because that's not even good enough for it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all this important stuff that they do in the movie, and then we're going to be like, also, good vibe.
Good vibe.
Like, yeah. It's so reductive.
It would be, exactly, it would be, reductive is the perfect word for it. It would reduce this fantastic, hopefully Oscar-winning movie to, good vibes, which it cannot be described in good vibes.
And then for me, my favorite movie of the year, because it was like genetically engineered to be my favorite movie of the year, was Frankenstein.
That's right, that makes sense. That's fair.
Guillermo del Toro is my favorite director. I love Frankenstein. I love the book. I love the movie. Frankenstein, kind of for all the same reasons as Sinners. Like, what are we gonna give it that
seriously
that lives up to it? You know,
our silly little game show is just not worthy of Sinners or Frankenstein.
It's really not. But yeah, like, what are we going to give Hater of the Year to Victor Frankenstein? Because it's like, oh, he didn't love his son because his tormented relationship with his father, and kind of how it, like, really represents man and its creations. And has science gone too far? But also, what is your role as a creator, as a parent? You know, does accepting it at the end actually make up for all the... Like, what, we're going to fucking do that during Hater of the Year after talking about Lex Luthor? And well, it was Sinners like, oh, you know... The oh shit, this guy can act award, Delroy Lindo, you know, in Sinners. But, you know, honestly, he's actually had like a really solid 40-year career. He's been one of the greatest character actors. And while I'm glad that he's Oscar nominated, and, you know, like, these don't fit. They're too good for us.
We need actual videos for it.
Oh God, the Vibey Awards. What a time to be alive.
The Vibey Awards. It took 2 different recording sessions and a huge ass vibe hangover in between.
Yeah. We actually didn't even do anything in that week. We just we were where you caught us, you know?
Well, with that being said, at the end of the day, thank you all for joining us at our first inaugural Vibey Awards.
Woo!
And all I have to say, after all things are said and done, is that it's been a vibe.
Perhaps too many.
I'm Robin Campbell.
And I've been KJ Colello.
Now get the fuck out of here. Go watch Spoonful. Jesus. How long we've been here for an hour and you haven't watched Spoonful yet? Fucking hell, man. You could have 2 YouTube videos going at once. I give you my permission to mute this one to go watch Spoonful right now. But, like, leave this one running. Please. You need the views.
Bella ciao, folks.